If we were standing around the LGBTQ plus water cooler, this is what we may all be talking about. It's sponsored by Hot Topic. Hot Topic is an American retail chain with nearly 700 locations specializing in counterculture related clothing and accessories, as well as licensed music. Hot Topic represents many varied interests of the LGBTQ plus community, including music, movies, graphic artists, gaming, and more. Hot Topic features one of the largest collections of Pride merchandise that celebrates all the aspects of our diverse LGBTQ plus community. Hot Topic is a major supporter of the diversity of our community and supports many events, festivals, and nonprofit LGBTQ plus organizations. And very notable is their support of the Trevor Project, the LGBTQ plus community's most important voice of LGBTQ plus young people. And that's why they are a sponsor of It's Happening Out's Hot Topic. Here we go. In one Sex Edge article written on Edge Media Network's website, the author talks about sexual behavior among gay populations. Gay life can be much more messy and miscalculated than one anticipates. To live well requires constant negotiations, and of all of life's negotiations, none are more messy or more miscalculated than sex. According to the writer, Caged Jock, an OnlyFans model, the general rule of thumb in the LGBTQ plus community is the more open you are, the better. Being a pig connotes a certain openness to exploring outside of life's conventions. Hookup apps like Grindr, Scruff, and Sniffies has further upped the ante by enabling us to keep our fantasies at our fingertips. Sex has surely become safer and more accessible to the LGBTQ plus community than in the past. Our hot topic of the week: are gay men different about sex than straight men? What do we think?
I think it takes us longer to get there. Straight guys, they have this whole middle school, high school, where they're experimenting and doing all kinds of crazy stuff when we are scared to take a shower. You know what I mean? And so I think that there's the natural tendency for us that when we do have that freedom to fully explore it. This is a really fantastic article as well. Just going into...
and we congratulate Edge Media Network to come out on this limb of talking about our community.
Featuring that author in that level of detail.
For them. Yep.
So straight men do it just as much as gay men. The only problem is they don't talk about it, because the reason that they don't talk about it as often, they either have someone at home, or there's someone they're attached to. I haven't lived, and we talked about this on the show several times. I haven't lived in a closet and hung out with straight heteronormative folks. The women want to get knocked off just as much as gay men, and straight men want to meet that and make that woman.
And when you use the word knocked up, you
have
mean
sex.
Have sex.
Just have sex. Just have sex. Just have no. Knocked off means just have sex and moving about the business. And so what the problem is, because our community is so under the microscope and laser focused at us to harm us, they only talk about the things that we do and not talk about what has always gone on in the straight community, while there's always that problem of he cheating on her, or that my friends can't come around because you've already talked to, or I'm afraid of them trying to take you over. And so I think that's what we need to really focus on, that sex is sex regardless. It's just that we get hooked on because we're more freely with it.
Part of the focus, I'm sorry, Cameron, you can come back in. Part of the focus of the conversation of this hot topic is, in the straight community, you hear women say men are dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They're dogs. In the gay community, we use the word pigs. And we don't dog is not a very frequent term to apply to your sexual nature in gay. Okay, but in general terms, I'm comparing and contrasting to straight men versus gay men. Is there any difference? Do straight men have the propensity of the sexuality and the sexual nature in the same degree that gay men.
I just
gay
don't think
men-
that they're allowed to be proud of it. I
What
know
are you
two.
talking about?
I know
Don't you
two.
hear guys, straight dudes, all the time being like, "Yo, man, I bagged this girl last night. Yo, I
That's
had sex with
different.
that
Yeah, but I
girl."
think
Is it
That's
that?
the whole
It's not-
point,
that
though.
is-
No,
it's
I'm
not
talking about
different.
more like
not
straight guys who are
It's not
in
different.
swinger relationships and
Nobody
have been,
said
and they don't really
relationship,
talk
though.
about it like we do.
I don't think that's
The whole
anything. I'm talking about like we're into piss play, scatting, fisting.
Oh,
like
wow.
there are so much more things that gay.
And they're
The gay
women. They're
community
women
are
that into
into.
all of that.
But I think we're overcomplicating it in this moment because I think the whole point, and correct me if I'm wrong, Al, is, straight guys just want to fuck. And they don't want to talk about it sometimes. But in reality, they do. They talk to their bros. Yo, I bagged this girl. I bagged that girl the other night. I bagged that girl the past night. I bagged both of them in the same night. When us gay guys literally do the same thing scrolling through the apps. Oh, I got him. I got him.
I want to
Yes.
ask, is there agreement to that? Almost, let's say over the past 30 years, almost every close straight male friend that I've ever had has at one time or another expressed, gosh, I wish I could have the same kind of access and freedom that you have. And that's a reflection that they can't participate in sex the same way gay men do. Is that true?
Yeah, that's
no,
very
you're
true.
right in the fact that it's not the same, but it doesn't deny them that they do have their own way. They go to the bar, they pick up the girl, they buy her drinks, they go down this exact formula. But I think they skip the get the phone number and just go to sex.
Yeah.
Do you all agree with that?
There are opportunities like that. I think it's
Yes.
just seldom. I think there's these apps that you can kind of mimic Grinder and
Tinder.
no, there's fish or whatever they're called.
Plenty of fish.
Plenty of fish. Where
No, that's crazy.
no,
But
no.
it's- no. Speak your point. Yes.
Far-
Yeah,
Farmers
where
only.
you can find someone who's in a relationship, but they still want to have sex, and so you
Yes.
can kind of
Oh,
meet
Ashley
beat
Madison.
the middleman.
Wait, let me challenge the observation. If you go into a straight bar, dance bar, cocktail bar, you go into a bar in Las Olas here in Fort Lauderdale, men and women, the men are trolling for sex. The women are finding ways to say, well, you better start by buying me a drink and we'll talk about it, maybe, possibly. In the gay bar, 8 out of 10, unless they're in a relationship and blah and blah and blah, everyone is in the
I
pool
disagree.
to go, we'll have sex.
I disagree with all of that. And so I think there are women who go into the bar knowing that they want to have sex that night. Now, whether or not it happens or not, they're fine with. I think gay men do the exact same. That if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I think what doesn't get talked about is the women liberation and allowing them to say, you know what, I just want to get my rocks, my moment and move on about my business. And I think that's where you talk about dogs and pigs. That's a totally different thing too, because
do you all
that's what I
agree with
mean.
that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, dogs and pigs are two different things.
But women go to the bar. I mean, think about Miami. Think about South Beach. There are folks who come here just to live their moment and then go home into their straight-laced life. So women can make those decisions.
In
think
Broward
there's-
County, for example, there's no Club Fort Lauderdale for straight men. There isn't.
Yeah, we just have better opportunities.
They have swinger bars. No, they do.
swinger-
They have a
swinger
swinger bar
clubs and
here.
stuff.
There's a swinger club here.
See,
They
the
do.
see
They're
the,
different
the
things.
thing is,
It's
that
in Hollywood.
maybe y'all
Just so
don't
you
know
know.
about these opportunities because you're not straight people, right? You're
Also
not,
that. And
that
you're not
part too.
going to
Also that.
straight bars. You're not on dating apps for straight people, right? So like, you're not accessing those opportunities because why would you be?
Well, the thing is, I have straight friends, and they've told me that
Yes,
women have
absolutely
come up. Women have
straight.
come up to my friends,
Yes.
and they've said, take me back to the car as long as my husband can watch. Like they have
That's
similar
different. That's different.
opportunities, but they're not the same frequency. I think.
Or just open about it. I mean, there is a swingers bar here in Hollywood. I mean, and I do have friends very much that can speak about it. But it's again the level of accountability that we have amongst ourselves, where we can have those conversations, where the Puritan lifestyle says you can't talk about that because yet you be
Let me
judged.
challenge that observation. Okay, there's a swinger bar in Hollywood.
And
In Fort Lauderdale, we're in Sunrise, we're in downtown Fort Lauderdale, we're in Oakland Park, and best estimate, we're 1 out of 10 to straight male population. And we have 3 within 2 miles of each other. It's completely different in the number of people that are engaging in that kind of activity, or bars on Wilton Drive on Friday night or Saturday night that are very, very liberal and progressive. Okay, I'm talking in code. Where are you going to do that in a straight club?
I think there's just also a little less game in our community when it comes to that, like this whole kind of
We're
I want
lazier,
to or
is
I
that
don't
what
want
you've
to. I think that there's less game.
Would you say
I'm
it's
fucking love
lazier?
it. I
Would
love
you
it.
say
Game
it's
we're-
means?
It's just
Well,
easier, and we're not working as hard.
We're
for
just
it?
we're more
Yeah.
direct. You have a discussion about what you about what you want. It's not the I don't want to, I do want to kind of traditional straight back and forth. It's more negotiation.
Let me come back to the observation that I made. If you're in the straight mix bar, the men have 1 in 10. I hear what Elimination's saying, but overall, the majority of the women, I'm stereotyping, don't have that same goal. They are going to be, the reason they have women nights is because they have to try to find a way to get the women to be in the room
Yes.
so men can troll. In the gay community, we don't have that because we're all trolling.
Accurate.
But we do have it, and so we do have it with underwear night. We do have it with jock night. We have it with those specific nights that lead to. If you just want to come for this one particular activity, come on this night.
How about that we do those kind of nights just to get us there faster? But it's
Or
happening.
to fill up, or to
Or
fill
to
it
fill,
up.
or to fill it up. I mean, but to your point though, those nights are spearheaded just for those kind of opportunities. So if you come on a regular night, you may or may not. You may have that. I don't. But however, if I'm coming on jock night, that person is already prepared to get the
Leather
insertable.
community, you're an expert on the 2 big leather bars, identified as leather bars on Wilton Drive. They need no underwear night to
Because-
accomplish whatever they want. to
Absolutely. And so to that point, yeah, absolutely right. But the people that's going there, so if you're going there to, let's say, receive, you have to prepare well in advance. And so that those individuals automatically have done the work. Same thing with a woman. When a woman goes out, she knows if she wants to get busy, she does whatever she needs to do to her body to do that work. What I'm saying to you is that both sides are equal. It's just that we as gay folks talk more about it than the women do because they cannot control their sexuality. Otherwise, they're looked upon in certain ways.
Okay,
That's why men go to those bars and try to take advantage of or try to find that particular population of women to take home, do what they got to do, and then go on by their business.
Why would straight men express to gay men frequently then, gosh, I don't wish I was gay, but I wish I
And
had
those
what gay
opportunities.
had.
How
Now
many
we
times-
know we've heard that over and over again.
Because they know it's a chase. It's way harder for them to get it than it is for us.
It's a chase,
comma-
but it's also like,
comma point period.
how
There's no
many
argument.
girls want to go to the club or the bar to actually meet someone specific or something more significant than just a hookup? When guys are just like, I just want to get my rocks off. The girls are
There's
like,
so
I
much
just
more.
wanna meet
There's
someone.
so much of a checklist for them.
But is
You
it
have
also a
money, do you have
stereotype?
car, do you-
Are we
We're just
feeding
down
into
to
that?
Bang, and it's done. Like we don't have questions like
But are y'all feeding into the stereotype that all we do is have sex?
I am so
Or not.
is anyone
But that's what-
surprised?
I want him to say that. I want him to
Elimination
hear what
is
he's
all of
saying.
This because historically, in the relaunch of season 4, Elimination is arguably the most progressively sexual.
Yeah.
All
voice
day,
at
all
our
day,
table.
absolutely.
And now he's going, but not so much.
Because we got to also remember too is that stereotype has been thrown upon us that every day that all we want to do is have sex.
It's
But what?
not a stereotype.
It's not.
So
Facts.
Everyone's what's interesting about the conversation
so
now is everyone's disagreeing with you.
Just because I don't do it like that.
so
doesn't
pause.
mean-
So pause.
Don't do that.
Because thank you.
Don't poke
Because
fun at
because if
All
you're not
right,
having sex
because-
every moment, then you're not
I'm
feeding
in,
that stereotype.
I'm in a closed relationship,
But
but I
prior
can
to that
still
part,
read
prior to that
through
part.
it.
Remember,
But all I'm saying is, so what you all are saying is that every person that goes to the alibi tonight is fucking. Excuse me,
No.
is smashing.
Not everybody.
Good
So,
if they
but-
wanted
But
to.
if I
But they
wanted
could-
to, I can get it
So
done
guess what?
way faster
It's-
than my
it's-
brother can at the bar.
So
Wait,
your brother's going to the wrong bars
They-
and turns to the
Going
wrong
to a
women.
straight bar. That's
But
what's wrong with it.
he's going to the wrong bar. He's going to straight women.
Right.
The wrong bar.
Listen. So the reality is that like historically, right? LGBT people like we did not have like big long-term things to look forward to, right? Like marriage, things like that. Like there was not like a
conclusion.
conclusion.
A family,
there,
A life
right?
cycle.
There is
The
there is
1960s,
Or even a long
there
life.
is
Included
the
as that
now,
goal.
there is the here. But what I'm saying, speaking from like the perspective of a young person, like everyone's fucking. You know what I mean?
Everybody is.
Everybody's like it is like we're seeing first of all that young queer people are actually able to look forward to those that like more like maybe traditional, maybe even a monogamous lifestyle or whatever, but also we're seeing straight people and everyone across the board having greater access to sex,
I hear
having
you.
greater access to more casual sex.
Answer my question
and-
in yes or no, nothing else. Are gay men pigs?
Yes.
No.
They're not. You don't think so?
No.
And is that because you're not, or you don't think broadly gay men are?
I just don't think broadly that gay men are, no more than I think that straight men are.
Okay, and now my next question. Are straight men dogs?
Yes.
Depends.
Depends
I
on
mean,
what?
some are,
There's
right?
a gray area in
Right?
everything.
Like
Everything's on a
we're not
spectrum.
I'm not gonna say that like all gay men are pigs and like all straight men are dogs. Like some people are super into like casual sex, right? Some people are assholes. Some people aren't, right? Like there's a whole, but the delineation there is not straight and gay. It's just
Can we agree on the fact that the topic itself is
For-
kind of just black and white instead of spectrum based?
yeah, it's not, but the delineation is not in sexuality, right? Especially for young people that are in a different environment.
How do
in
you
terms
explain then, if what you're saying is true, how do you explain Walton Drive in a and I have friends all over the country that talk about this with me. How do you explain in a 2-mile strip in Walton Drive? Our 2-mile strip at Walton Drive is not West Hollywood and Santa Monica, is not Provincetown, is not Palm Springs. They don't have this. They do not have Walton Drive. Walton Drive is almost unique in America that in a strip of 2 miles, you can walk into 20 plus alcohol establishments, of which many of them are overtly sexual related to the place that you're at. How do you explain that then?
Well, I'll also put it bluntly in saying that the Wilson Manors community skews a little older, right? We're seeing.
Okay,
I think there's
now
very
we
much,
get
I am
to it.
28 years old.
I think there's
Okay.
very
5
much
years ago,
also
yeah.
an age divide in what that might look like. You know,
Okay.
like
All right.
at the like. But I think speaking from a young from the perspective of a young person, like there's not this delineation in like your propensity to have sex, like dependent on whether or not you're straight or gay. You just like having casual sex.
That's
or you don't.
interesting.
I think I will
Yes,
agree, as a young person as well, we are losing the care to define like, hey, this person wants to have sex constantly. They're a dog, they're a pig. You know, sex is becoming more casual, more open, and more conversed. It coming from an era, no offense you for, of closed-minded, singled out, and hush hush. We're being more open about it, more conversing about it, and able to actually be like, oh, this is more casual. More
You're saying it takes some of the rebellion.
I just wish you all.
At
sex
all.
is very rebellious in America, especially if you think about it.
I just wish you all take a moment and talk to women who truly own their sexuality and realize they want sex just like we do, and so they will do what it takes to get that
on it.
and do that thing. And there are men. I have a family member. I won't tell that we're part of the family whose bed stops notches are larger than mine. Very much heterosexual, very much heteronormal. But the only way his notches can be that way unless there are women who is willing to give it up to him. And so that's why I'm saying that women know and own their sexuality just like we do. The problem is we talk about it, we make
If
it
that
proud.
were true,
Hey, what is
I'm not
watching
denying
this in
that
her head
that's
is
not
going all the
true.
way around.
Or
But
he's Bill
if that
Cosby.
was true, why is America enamored in Sex and the City by the character of Samantha? Because Samantha does what you just said and what you're saying women are. But the reason why, and I'm asking, America is enamored with the Samantha character because she breaks the mold
Yes.
of what women are doing. You're saying all women are like that. And I'm saying, no, they're not. And that's the reason why they were enamored with Samantha. They want to be, but they
But they're
can't
not.
be.
Or their story is being told through Samantha, and it's now being accepted and loved through Samantha.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Back to that spectrum.
I mean, again,
ring the bell. Ring the bell.
It's interesting in terms of what Eddie proposes, and we congratulate
Yes, and I agree.
the
That's
author
great
of
article.
the
Article, yeah,
editorial
great
that they
article.
did. All right. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.